Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for being here. Kind of a bumpy get off the ground takeoff for us. Had some new software stuff with YouTube that we had to figure out, but we found a way to make it happen. I appreciate everybody that was complaining in the chat, but look, man, we're trying to go live, so please relax. Maybe you have the same expectations for your football team as this show. How about they show up on time? Didn't even score week 1. Who are the real ones, though? Give me a real one roll call down in the comments section. Shout out to everybody in the building. Mark Estrada here. A. Rivera is here. Casey Taylor is here. Ox is here. NYG all day. Garcia Tattoo Studios. Christian in the building. What up, what up? Polar Bear. Eric Cruz. What up, Mr. Eric Cruz? Shaq's hanging out. Greg Congdon. My man, what up, Greg? Royal Ron hanging out. What up, Nope? Chenko says Pick 6D finally gets one. I would love a defensive touchdown this Sunday. The Giants are going to need it. They haven't been able to score many touchdowns this year on offense. 50% of the games have not featured a touchdown. So they're going to need someone to get in the end zone. Maybe it's the defense. What up, Troll? What up, everybody? Shout out to y'all tuning in. Bill's in the building. What up? Shout out to Corinne. What up, CTM? Patchu's hanging out. Keith Grubber. Naber Solo. What up? Shout out to everybody in the building. Drips. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. I know we want to complain in the chat when the show's late. Do your part. Like the video while you're waiting. There's more people watching than likes. So do your part. We're doing our best over here. I appreciate you guys holding us to a high standard, though. The Bronx Boy, what up, my man? Shout out to everybody in the building. 145 people watching, 38 likes. Those are rookie numbers. We will not move on from this point in the show until we get to 75 likes. We can both play that game. I'm a little frustrated. Hit the like button. Hit the frickin' like button. CTM says, welcome to everyone now coming into the chat. Please like this stream. Exactly. If you have liked the video, type me. Type me. Drip says, I'm getting more annoyed by the day that Drew Lock isn't starting. Could be coming soon. I think at some point the Giants are going to have to evaluate the rest of their season. What up, Ty Man? What up, Royal? What up, Drips? Rob, Jigga, what up? Picho, Eric Cruz, Bill, Anthony. What up, Greg C? Joey DeLuca, ISD, Joey, Aiden, Shot by Josh, Remy the Enforcer, 63 likes. We're still 12 likes away. Hit that thumbs up icon. JJ says, me, Marshy. What up, man? Meme Stein says, DeVito time. A. Rivera says, yerp. Charlie's in the building. What up, Ian? What's up, William? He says, hey, love the show. William, you know what? I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the kind words. 67 likes, 142 people watching. I was asking everyone to click a button. I think that's more than fair. If everyone could please do that, we would appreciate it. Meme Stein says, Tommy Cutlets. Yes, sir. Darren Brown, type in me. Top Pacheco. Top Pacheco. Misread that. What up? ES Green, he says, real one, Green, from Long Island. 2 likes away. Please, please, please hit that thumbs up icon. That's Joey DeLuca coming in with a $1 super chat. Joey, we appreciate it, man. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Sahagins Detailing. $2 super chat. Thank you, Sahagins Detailing, longtime viewer. Real one till the DIE. Says D. Slay locked to the Raiders for Adams. So Darius Slayton and Drew Lock for Devontae Adams? The Raiders say no deal. To that, Sahagins Detailing. Look, I didn't even think it was worth doing a video on Devontae Adams. I don't think the Giants are in a spot to pull off a trade for him. I just don't really think it was worth all that much time. So we're not going to spend too much time on Devontae Adams. He wants to go play for a contender, and unfortunately that is just not where the New York Giants are at this point. My question to you is this, because we got a show coming up, 2025 quarterback targets for the New York Giants. 2025 quarterback targets coming up on the show. Who do you want at QB for Big Blue next year? Who do you want under center? Nope saying Kyle McCord. Big Kyle McCord guy, huh? Nope. Tell me why. CBJ, number one fan, says Cam Ward. Asset, says number one fan. Rob Jigga says Bo Callahan. LOL. Dubs, says Jackson Dart. Martin 2DLD Live says Milrow. We got Cam Ward, anyone but Jones. McCord from Syracuse. I want the Alabama QB. Milrow, Cam or Shadur. We don't need another receiver. We absolutely need another receiver. We absolutely do, Charlie. We need a lot of things. Ox says Ewers or Milrow. Joey says Arch Manning. Well, Joey can't be your quarterback next year. A. Rivera says Tom Brady. Love that. Slayton maybe a third for Bryce Young. I don't know. I can't give up anything more than a fifth for Bryce Young. Ox says Arch Manning. Also still not available. Joey again saying Arch Manning. Not available. Juan says Sanders. Drips. Not good thing I didn't read that out loud. Really, I want one of the top QBs, but McCord's got that potential. Milrow season from Martin. Dub says we need Dart. Tank says Jalen Miller or Ward are my QB ones. Tommy says Milrow. Juan says Sanders. Buddy Bear says you guys want Shador for sure. Do we? Do we want Shador? I think he's a good player. Smitty, I know what time it is for you, baby.
It is Miller time, but it's also Milrow time. It's also Ward time. It's if any of those two guys are available when the Giants are on the clock and they don't take them, they have failed. And Joe Shane's seat will be on fire.
Is Milrow or is Miller Moss still number one on the Smitty big board?
I don't know if he's number one.
Was he ever number one?
I don't think he was ever number one on the big board.
Just a name to watch?
But I was calling him the best QB in the draft. There's a difference between number one on the big board and the best QB in the draft. I don't know what the difference is, but there's a difference.
Nope says Kyle is a good QB. Wasn't that good at Ohio State? That's who that is, right? Kyle McCord?
Yes, he's at Syracuse now. He's bad.
He didn't even look good throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr. But maybe he's learned a little bit. We've seen these QBs have these different kind of paths that they take themselves down. So I don't know. I will say this: Kyle McCord is not going to be talked about on today's show, Mr. Nope.
No.
Neighbor Solo says breaking. Giants signed Marshall Green, QB from Giants Now by Chat Sports, to a 10-year deal.
Whoa.
How much are they paying me?
Yeah.
How much are they paying me?
Better be more guaranteed than Daniel Jones.
Shit, if Daniel Jones got $160 million, I need $161. Pacheco says anybody other than DJ. I feel you. On that. We are going to get into a mailbag on today's show. Going to be a little bit of a quicker live today. Still wanted to hop on here and talk to you guys about what's going on this week. Doesn't sound like Malik Nabers is going to play for the Giants. Nabers did not practice all week, and usually when you don't practice on Thursday, you're not going to end up practicing or playing on Sunday. So I think at this point it would be a shock if Malik Nabers does play and suit up for Big Blue. Ox says, went to Syracuse game against Stanford 2 weeks ago, sat first row, section 1, midfield, home side. The QB stinks. Ox says no Neighbors. Yeah, no Neighbors this week is what it sounded like. Garcia, Tattoo, Studio, says Tay Jones for Brock Purdy. Please. Michael says NFL is about business, and we have to draft a quarterback during draft night. I agree. Christian says he's out at released. Well, you wouldn't rule anybody out on Thursday. The soonest you would rule somebody out is Friday. Yeah, it's pretty unlikely that he's going to play. There has not been any designation, though, made about his status. I want to make that abundantly clear. I don't know where you saw that, but I can promise you nobody has said that Malik Nabers is officially out. Nobody. We are going to get to a mailbag, though, and I haven't seen anybody drop their question, so maybe we just cut the live today, no mailbag, and we can just go on with our weekends. But I'd like to answer some questions about the game this weekend. So hashtag Giants or Super Chat to get on the show. All Super Chats are going to be guaranteed to get up on screen, and then producer Smitty will be the one given the green light for the questions that come in with hashtag Giants. Shout out to Neighbor Solo.
Yeah, Neighbor Solo, first one in the bucket. And I like the question, so Neighbor Solo, you might just get on.
Love that. JJ getting a question in as well. We appreciate it. I would just ask everybody to drop a question. with the hashtag Giants included. Video is going to go out on the channel on Saturday. If you want your question on the channel, hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Brazy says Dexter Lawrence just got traded to the Vikings. And that, my friend, gets you blocked on the channel. Come on, Brazy. Come on, dog. No fake news in the chat, my man. No fake news in the chat. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that, Marcus.
1 and 3. We don't got time for that.
We don't got time for BS. No BS.
6 more likes till 100, by the way. I got over 200 people in the chat. Let's keep that at 50%. Let's keep the ratio good. Never want a bad ratio.
No one ever likes a bad ratio. 205 people watching, 94 likes. Hit the thumbs up icon. Once we get to 100 likes, we'll dive into it.
Talk some NYGQB.
Well, QB targets.
Yep.
Well, QB targets, huh? We need a guy that can throw the ball, Smitty.
We need a guy with the 3 A's. Athletic, audibles, and alerts.
I like him a lot. If y'all aren't watching the John Gruden stuff on YouTube, you are doing yourself a disservice. It's awesome, it's entertaining, and it's good stuff.
Not a great guy, great football guy, let me tell you.
Yeah, and that guy, he may not be someone that you want to date your daughter, but if you need a little Jimmy to have a QB coach, it's him.
If you need him to draw up a drive concept, he'll get it done.
If you're looking for a tight end to take that next step with a little spider 2Y banana.
Corner off to the sideline. Toe tap it down.
Unbelievable. Shout out to GTS, my man Garcia Tattoo Studio. Up to 100 likes. Let's dive into it. Giants QB targets for 2025, and then we're going to close out the show with a mailbag. So if you have a comment, a question, a take, a thought, something, hashtag Giants, drop it in the comments, and we'll talk about it. Dubs says, how are the Giants offense going to do without Malik Nabers? I am scared, baby. I am scared. It'll look a lot like the offense did last year.
Might be doomed.
It is a major doom. All righty. Let's get into it. It may only be October, but it is never too soon to talk about the future for the New York Football Giants. And coming up on today's show, I've got 4 quarterbacks in the NFL draft that I've highlighted their names that I'm watching every single Saturday. And then we're also going to show you the top 10 free agent quarterbacks and try to give a detailed, outlined picture of who the guy under center for Big Blue might just be next season. But if you want the Giants to move on from Daniel Jones after this year, hit that thumbs up icon. And I'll do this. If you don't want the Giants to move on from Daniel Jones, tell me why in the comment section. So like it if you do, comment if you don't. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate every single person that clicks on today's video as we break down who might be the signal caller at the line of scrimmage for Big Blue next season. And look, it is 100% time to move on from Daniel Jones after this season. It's been 6 years. He's shown us who he is, and he is a guy that can keep you in games. He is a guy that can be your quarterback that wins games, but he's just not a guy that can consistently win football games. And I don't believe he could be the quarterback on a team that wins a Super Bowl. And I think that's the only thing that matters. And on top of that, the contract. Look, the Giants, if they move on from Daniel Jones after the season, they save $19.3 million. That's a lot of money. He's on the team next year. He has a $41.6 million cap hit. Think about it like this. The New York Giants, with Daniel Jones on the roster, are projected to have $44.6 million in cap space. That would be the 18th most in the National Football League. Add the $19.6 million if you cut Daniel Jones, you would have nearly $64 million in cap space to work with. That is a lot of cheddar. And look, you don't want to build your team exclusively through free agency. But I think we could agree that the New York Giants are a team that lacks top-end talent. And I think that you could go out and get some top-end talent in free agency. But more importantly, plug some holes on this football team. You want to have a team that's built with multiple ways through the draft and free agency. Where the Giants are at right now, you could definitely sign some good players in that free agency of 2025 class with nearly $70 million in free agency. All righty, my top quarterbacks for the 2025 New York Giants. And I'll tell you this, there's one guy at the top, and then there's a gap between everybody else. My number one QB that I want to see slinging the pill next year for the great organization of the New York Football Giants is Cam Ward. Over the last 2 weeks, I've watched a lot of college football. I've watched a lot of highlight tapes. I've watched a lot of analysis, and I've talked to people that I believe in and people that I trust when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks. And I also trust my two eyes. Cam Ward is without a doubt the best quarterback in this draft class. He's off to an amazing start this year with Miami, completing north of 70% of his passes. He's also already got almost 1,800 yards through the air, and he's thrown 18 tutties to just 4 picks. Things that I love about Cam Ward. His arm talent is unmatched. He makes big-time throws. He throws the ball at an unreal rate down the field, and I think he's got the most pop in his arm of any quarterback in this class. I believe that he is someone that will step in and have a top 10, top 12 arm in the National Football League. His deep grade throwing the ball down the field is amazing. His average depth of target, 9.6 yards. So he's not just dinking and dunking. He's throwing it over. He can find a way to be excellent when the pressure is coming on to him. He's got a good pressure to sack conversion rate. He doesn't really turn the ball over either. Only 2.5% of his plays are deemed turnover worthy. And I'll take it as far as to say that Cam Ward is a perfect fit for a Brian Dable-led offense. He throws the ball to every pocket of the field. He can touch every blade of grass. And where does Brian Dable like to throw the football? Over the middle of the field and in the intermediate range. And that is where Cam Ward thrives. So that blue line you see is the line of scrimmage. That yellow line you see is 10 yards down the field, then 20 yards down the field. Cam Ward has completed 19 of 31 throws on 20-plus air yards for 8 touchdowns. When he targets the middle of the field, 20-plus yards down the field, he's completing 11 of 12 throws for 325 yards, 5 touchdowns, and an NFL QBR of 158.3. He has an unreal arm. You want him to throw that deep ball, he could do that. You want to throw a seed over the middle of the field at 13 yards, he can do that. And let's talk about how cool, calm, and collected he is in the pocket. He's a leader, he is an alpha, and he is a dog. I'm calling him Cam Marino because the way he holds on to the football and he's not afraid to trust his arm and throw a cover 2 hole shot is unbelievable. We're talking about from the opposite hash, throwing to the opposite numbers, and a cover 2 hole shot. I've watched every snap of Daniel Jones more than 3 times in his career. I have never once seen him do that. My next quarterback that I'm looking at this year is Quinn Ewers. And I will say I am a little bit biased for Quinn Ewers. I've known him since he was in high school. I covered him when he was a junior in high school. I got to interview him. I got to talk to him. I got to know him a little bit. And this dude is a big-time gamer, man. This guy loves football. He competes. And like Ward, he's got a special, special arm. One thing about Ewers is he is someone that I think rises and sinks to his competition, meaning when it's a big game, when he's got to make big-time plays, he's going to do that. Also, other times, I feel like he plays down to his competition. He's kind of got a little bit of an Eli Manning in him where it's like, holy shit, what a play by Quinn Ewers. And it's like, holy shit, Eli, it's year 12. Why are you still making rookie mistakes? But the passing grade, awesome. The intermediate grade, awesome. The deep grade, awesome. The adjusted completion percent, awesome. One thing that I can't really fall in love with is the 6.2 average yards, depth of target. A little bit skewed this year due to the fact that he hasn't played all that much. Last year, though, he had an ADOT of 8.4, and he throws the ball down the field really well. You look at his spray chart, and he is a guy that this is his 2023 spray chart. I wanted to get more of a full picture of this. He completes 16 of his 47 attempts on 20-plus air yards, 4 TDs, one interception. So still really good, but not nearly as good as a guy like Cam Ward. My favorite thing, though, about Quinn Ewers is he's big game Quinn, and he's been this way since he was in high school. When he needs to show up, when it's the bright lights and a big-time game, he plays damn good football. What about when he beat Alabama in 2023, where he threw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns? What about in the Red River rivalry last year against Oklahoma, 31-37, 350 yards and a tutty? What about the Big 12 championship game, 35-46, 450 yards, and not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 tutties? Then what about this year when he beats Michigan, 250 yards and 3 touchdowns? He is a big-time game quarterback, and that's something that I always appreciate. How do you look in your biggest moments? Quinn Ewers, he's looked good in those spots. I do worry about his durability. 3 years in a row, he's had an injury that has caused him to miss time. So for all the things I love about Quinn, from a person to a player to a competitor to a quarterback to the arm talent to the mindset and the ability to rise to the occasion, I'm just as equally worried about the durability. That's something that I'm going to continue to know. A quarterback that is rising up my rankings. Someone that I think could challenge Quinn Ewers for that 2 spot. Cam Ward is going to be my QB1 no matter what. I can promise you that. Is Jalen Milroe. This dude, the growth from year to year has been awesome. And I feel like the floor for Jalen Milroe is very high in the NFL because of the athleticism, because of the ability to throw the deep ball with extreme accuracy, a deep grade of 90.2, an intermediate grade of 80, a passing grade of 86, and he's super smart with the football. He doesn't put the ball in harm's way. He makes big-time plays, he makes big-time throws, and he doesn't turn the rock over. Less than a 1% turnover-worthy play rate, while having an average depth of target of 10.8 yards. That's bigger than anybody we've talked about, and a lower turnover-worthy play than anybody we talked about. And he's just a stud. He's completed 73% of his passes. He's thrown for a stack, and he already has 10 touchdowns through the air to 1 interception. But we can't forget how athletic this dude is, how much of a threat he is every single time he takes a snap. He's got 287 yards on 29 carries. He averages 9.9 yards per carry, and he's got a touchdown on the ground. And then you look at the spray chart, and this is porn for me. 10 of 16 on throws of 20-plus air yards. He's thrown 6 TDs and 0 INTs. You want to throw deep to the right? Okay, 50%. You want to throw deep to the middle? Okay, 80%. You want to throw deep to the left? Okay, 50%. Big-time throws, big-time plays, low turnover-worthy percentage plays, and an unreal scrambler. This dude, I believe, may have the highest ceiling. I think it could take a while to get there. He's going to need a right coach. I think Brian Dable could be that guy. He's also got a really high floor because at the end of the day, he could be a running back that can carry the football, and you can have a dominant ground attack with an explosive passing style. Milroe, Ewers, and Ward, those guys are all really, really good. And so is Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders continues to prove me wrong. As much as I want to hate him for the off-the-field stuff and for the theatrics and the circus that Deion Sanders is, every week he shows up, every week he balls out, and he wins a game that he's not supposed to win. The grades are awesome. The no-pressure grade, the deep grade, the passing grade, the intermediate grade, and the pressure grade. The thing I love the most, though, is just like we talked about with Milroe, Sanders takes care of the football at an unreal rate, playing behind an offensive line that is terrible. Like that Colorado offensive line is a joke, but he has a turnover-worthy play percentage of 0.8. His pressure to sack conversion rate's a little bit high at 22%, meaning out of 100 pressures, 22 of them are going to be sacks. I'm not going to blame that more so on the offensive line for Colorado compared to a problem with Shedeur Sanders. This guy has been really good, ladies and gentlemen, this year. 70%, 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 3 INTs. And like Sanders, like Milroe, And like Cam Ward, he can let it fly. 16 of 33 on throws of more than 20-plus yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I also love throws of his over 10-plus yards. In the middle of the field, 13 of 21 on 10-plus yard throws. That's where great quarterbacks live in this league. That's where Brian Dable draws up his guaranteed money. Are there a lot of red flags with Shedeur Sanders? Absolutely. From, it's not even like off the field stuff. It's like me. Is he a me guy or is he a team guy? Do I got to deal with Deion Sanders every week? If his last name was Jones, I would have him 1A and 1B with Cam Ward. But I don't know if I want to deal with the Sanders circus. You decide. If you had to pick one of these 4 quarterbacks, who would it be? Who would it be? Cam Ward, Quinn Ewers, Jalen Milroe, or Shedeur Sanders? I'm a Cam Ward guy. That guy's going to save the New York Football Giants. I really do believe that. I know there's other ways to go out and add quarterbacks. So here are the top 10 free agent quarterbacks entering 2025. You got Sam Darnold having a hell of a year. Zach Wilson, maybe he could be the next Sam Darnold. Trey Lance, Jacoby Brissett, our guy Drew Lock, Justin Fields, Jameis Winston, Mac Jones, Carson Wentz, and Cooper Rush. I don't want any of those guys. Draft a QB. Start that rookie quarterback contract and build out the roster with the near $70 million that you have in cap space. If the draft was today, I'm doing everything I can to get Cam Ward. I trust my eyes, and that dude can spin it, man. And I think he's a leader. I think he's an alpha. He went from Incarnate Word, a small D1AA school, to Wazoo, to Miami. And he's turned the culture of Miami in less than 2 months. That is a Cam Ward town. And that's because he's a leader. That's because he's an alpha. And hopefully he's our quarterback. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm on Instagram, same handle. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue. Drip says Cooper, big time rush.
He is big time. He's prime time rush.
They ain't letting him get out of Dallas.
No, that's a premium backup. Premium backups are they're a hot commodity in the NFL. Like, these guys go down.
Yep.
Like, you imagine if the Jets had Cooper Rush last year, they probably would have won a couple more games.
Yep. Nope says QB1 is Kyle McCord.
No.
Did your dad go to Syracuse or something, dude?
Nope. Is definitely just a Syracuse football fan.
Yeah.
And only watches Syracuse football probably because that's all people do in the Northeast. They watch, if they have a favorite team they like, they watch just them. They don't watch college football.
Cam Ward's a stud, guys.
Surprised nobody's championing Riley Leonard right now, as all the Northeasterners are Notre Dame fans.
Riley Leonard, that dude stinks.
Yeah.
Mike G goes, let's say other bad college QBs like my Riley Leonard. I'm dead. I did see my guy Mike G came in with a $10 super chat. Shout out to you, Mike. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a real one. Rob Jigga came in with a super chat. What's up, Rob? Says Tankathon currently has us as 10th overall. Taking Ewers. Thoughts, good or bad? Need insight. I would love Quinn Ewers. I would. He's my QB2 right now. He's my QB2 behind Cam Ward. A lot can change from now until draft day. The Giants walk out of the draft with Quinn Ewers. I would be more than thrilled. That'd be a good one. Mike G! What's up, Mike G? $10 super chat. Shout out to you, legend. Says, what is up, my brother? Besides QB in a corner, what position do the Giants need to upgrade in the free agency or the draft? You're absolute. You are, man. Right guard, tight end, offensive playmaker. Because it can't just be the Malik Nabers show every single week, Smitty.
You
got to get somebody else.
There needs to be more weapons, more versatile weapons as well. I mean, got a guy there.
Wan'Dale Robinson's fourth in receptions, fourth in targets, and he really hasn't changed any outcome of any game. It's just dink and dunk. 3rd and 12, 6-yard pass to Wan'Dale.
You can clearly judge that by, like, what is he ranked in overall receiving yards? I'm sure it's not high.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not number 1 or top 3.
I'd love to have Wan'Dale Robinson as my wide receiver 3. Giants see another alpha that they can line up on the opposite side of the field that makes the defense think Oh, shit, we got to guard him and Nabers?
Wan'Dale Robinson is a great number 3.
He's a great slot receiver.
Yep.
Underneath, get open, shifty, read routes. That's Wan'Dale Robinson. You need another elite receiver. Maybe that's an elite tight end. Another elite weapon is what I will call it. You need a legit right guard. I appreciate Greg Van Roten. He's not a long-term fix. You also need another corner. You said that. Those are in quarterback. Quarterback, cornerback, offensive weapon, right guard.
Inside linebacker?
I think we're in a good spot with Okereke and McFadden.
Yeah. I was just thinking depth.
DT2. You need a DT2.
DT2. Raheem Nunez-Roches not getting it done for you?
Raheem Nunez-Roches and DJ Davidson not good enough next to Dexter Lawrence.
Elijah Chapman.
Elijah Chapman.
How about we build up in-house?
He's a good rotational piece for a rook. We need another guy that can go and get a sack by himself. Someone says you low-key need a running back. I would categorize that as an offensive weapon.
Yep.
You need another receiver. You need another tight end. Maybe Tyrone Tracy takes a step as a running back. But you need to add another guy.
When's David Montgomery's contract up?
I like David Montgomery.
He's up soon, and I'm sure they're not going to want to pay him with having Jahmyr Gibbs there as well. Which I think technically they already do, but they're going to have to pay Gibbs.
What's up, Levante Blakely? Nothing official on Malik Nabers, but I'd say it's more likely that he is out than in, as he did not practice on Thursday. And Brian Dable said he's still in the early stages of concussion protocol.
That ain't good.
No. He could be ruled out tomorrow. Tomorrow's really the first day where you get those designations for game day. Whew. Bear! Third, 315. What up, Bear? Trade Slayton to the Eagles for Ringo or Ricks. They're deep in cornerbacks. Are they? Are Ringo and Ricks good?
There's a reason they don't play on the Eagles.
Exactly. There's a reason the Eagles had to go out and draft Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean.
Who, by the way, doesn't see the field, by the way.
Yeah. I would rather Bear trade Darius Slayton to the Chiefs for a 5th-round pick. Here's Darius Slayton. Give us a 5th-round pick. We're all happy. There's been a lot of talk saying it doesn't make sense to trade Darius Slayton. I don't think it makes sense to keep him. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He's best friends with Daniel Jones. We already asked him to take a pay cut once. He wanted more money. We didn't say no. We said no. Smitty, why is he coming back here?
I always think it's so funny when you say he's best friends with Daniel Jones.
He's best friends with Daniel Jones. He's out of here.
He's out of here. There's no reason to keep Darius Slayton.
Are we not tired of 86 dropping important passes?
He drops the ball, like limited route tree. He's going to cost money that you shouldn't pay Darius.
He's a wide receiver 3.
Wide receiver.
We have a wide receiver 3.
Yep.
We have 2 wide receiver 3. 3 wide. All of our receivers are receiver 3s except for Nabers.
Yep.
I want another guy that could tilt the field. I want another guy that you can't just play single high and tell that single high safety to cheat to Nabers' side every time.
Yep.
Go into 2 high and let's run the damn ball. Play us 2 high and let's run the damn ball. Like all the good teams outside of the Chiefs have in the Bills, because they're the best 2 quarterbacks in the world. Bengals, 2 receivers. Niners, 2 receivers. Eagles, 2 receivers. Vikings, 2 receivers. Like, they all got 2 receivers. Texans, they got 3 of them.
Yep. A lot of these quarterbacks have an embarrassment of riches, and a lot of these quarterbacks also have an embarrassment of riches in the coaching staff department as well, and elite offenses like the Texans, the Lions, the Vikings, like all these, the Eagles were for a while, but now they stink.
Bears, 2 receivers.
Bears, yeah.
Cowboys, 2 receivers. Lions, they got 2 receivers. Like, Packers have 5 receivers.
I argued offense that's doing it pretty well this year without 2 alpha receivers. The Saints, they're doing it with Rashid Shaheed as the number 2. Shout out to them.
Yeah, they are.
Clint Kubiak, young offensive
Miami
mind.
Dolphins, 2 receivers.
LA Rams went healthy, 2 receivers.
2 receivers.
Seahawks, 3.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2 receivers.
Yep. Seahawks have 3
Seahawks
of them.
have 3. Like, you got to have playmakers.
Yep.
You got to have multiple playmakers.
And what are the teams that don't? The Steelers, their offense is anemic. If they had a good offense, they might be a Super Bowl contender. Like
The Jets.
the Jets.
They've got one receiver.
The Cowboys.
Bronx Boy is saying you're not giving Wandale enough credit. He's a great 3. He's not a 2. He doesn't even start in our 2 receiver set, so I can't be knocked. I know you're trying to rattle me, but I see through your BS, and I'm going to call you on your BS. If he was so good when the Giants went 2 wide receiver sets, why does Darius Slayton play over him?
Something to think
And
about.
it's limitations because he's 5'8". I don't want my wide receiver 2 being 5'8". That only plays in the slot. Is Nabers out? It's more likely than not that he is out. Because he's tiny. Exactly. I don't want a 6-foot receiver and a 5'8" receiver being my first 2 guys. Wandale and Nabers, that's a good start. You still need a number 2. And that's where you take it too far.
Yeah.
I love to push the envelope, but I don't. You're the only envelope pusher that's better than me. I'll tell you that much. We are going to get into a mailbag to close out today's show. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat. Smitty, what's the questions looking like? Good, low, bad?
They're not bad. They're a little low, but not bad. Love to have as many as possible.
CTM, he's not on the team yet, Marsh. What do you mean? I'm just confused what you mean by that. Junior says, let's go Yankees. When do our Yanks play?
Saturday.
Who do we play?
The Royals.
They're good.
They're good, but not deep.
What are the odds saying?
Yankees,
not on exactly CTM. He's not on the receiver.
Yankees are probably like minus 270 to win the series.
Is this good? This is a 5-gamer or a 7-gamer?
This is a 5-gamer. No, this is
DS is.
DS
is 5.
DS is 5, I think. Yeah. DS is 5 because these are 3. I was thinking these are 5. Let's see what the series
More,
price
what up,
is.
dog? Yeah, it's 5 games.
Mm-hmm. Yankees are minus 210 to win the series.
So they're saying the Yankees are going to win this series 3-1.
Yeah, probably. I don't think they are. I think it's going to go to Game 5.
Oh, no.
They just always find a way to choke and rip my heart out.
Can Cole pitch Game 1 and Game 5?
Yeah, probably. I don't know if I want that, baby.
No.
That brother stinks.
No, he doesn't.
He has been ass.
So who we depend on?
He's been all right since coming back from the IL, but like he hasn't been the Garrett Cole we know from last year.
We don't want Rodon doing it.
No. Probably Luis Heel.
Ugh.
He's good. Let's go Yanks. Any Met fans in the chat? You got a big game tonight.
Rob Simpy says go Mets.
Rob Simpy.
No, you're good, Corinne. I just didn't know what you meant. And I knew you were on the right path, so I wanted to hear from you. Thank you. I 100% agree.
Do or die, Rob Simpy. Do or die. A rubber match. Game 3. What do we think? Might take your Mets money line? What's up?
Poke Moore, Jalen Milroe is Lamar Jackson. Milroe throws better.
Uh-oh!
He might be more athletic.
Whoa. I don't know about that, Jim. Lamar Jackson in Louisville.
This ain't the ACC, baby.
You better study up on Lamar Jackson in Louisville.
This is the SEC.
You better go watch that game against the Clemson Tigers.
This ain't the ACC.
I don't get it. You look at that Clemson defense. They whooped up on Alabama.
Bill says, I don't watch round ball, but I hope the Mets do well. But you better hope the Yankees do better.
Bill, you do watch round ball. You watch basketball, dude. You're a diehard Knicks fan.
Bill?
Is it different, Bill?
Bill Hartnett?
Yeah. Bill
Bill's
Hartnett.
diehard Knicks fan.
Yeah. I thought basketball was round ball. You got 2?
Rob Simpy says, I know. JT says, Marsh, how do you feel if New York Giants had Malik Nabers and Devontae Adams? That'd be awesome, but the Giants' window to win is in 3 years, and I'm not sure Devontae Adams is going to be that elite of a player in 3 more years.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get a guy that's going to be peaking in 3 years instead of descending.
Listen, if we all agree that, these are the real ones in here right now. If we all agree that the Giants aren't going to win the Super Bowl this year, and especially if they got Devontae Adams, I want to see Devontae Adams go to the Bills.
I also want Devontae Adams to go to the Bills.
That'd be lit.
Bronx Boy says, are we sure Hyatt ain't the guy? I think Hyatt, we don't know what he is. He's played 50 snaps this year.
This year.
What I would say, though, is Hyatt's a good receiver 3. Like, Hyatt and Wandale are both receiver 3s, in my opinion. I want to go 4 wide. I want to go 4 wide every once in a while.
Come on.
Go get Cam Ward. I want to run out of empty, baby. I'm trying to empty this piece.
I feel like against Dallas, they ran a little bit of 4 wide receiver sets. Wasn't very successful.
With a tight end and a halfback.
Yeah. Theo Johnson is out there in every 4 wide receiver set.
I want 5 wide receivers, and let's just play quick game. Let's play quick game. And you come up, we go deep.
Giants barely have 5 wide receivers that suit up every week.
Amir Smith-Marset would be number 5.
Oh, send him on a decoy route, a dummy route.
All righty, last chance to get your questions in on today's mailbag. Hashtag Giants or Super Chat.
Super Chat's the only guaranteed way to get on.
Only way to get on is to Super Chat. We're at $22 in Super Chats. If we get to 50, do a beer shotgun.
Ooh.
If we get to 100, we'll do a beer shotgun race. We're at 22. Isaiah says, Tyrone Tracy time. Rom Simpy says, I live in my own world. I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it. Bronx Boy, I don't disagree, brother. I don't disagree. Marty Party says, imagine if Daniel Jones had Barkley and Nabers. He'd look good. Maybe a top 10 quarterback. Wrong. I love all the people that have been sending me these advanced analytics that Daniel Jones is having a good season. You know what the advanced analytics are for me, Smitty?
What's that?
Giants are 1-3. They haven't scored a touchdown in half their games this year.
That's right.
That means the quarterback is not playing well.
Yep.
I don't care what his EPA per play is. How about instead of estimated points added, add some points to the scoreboard?
Haven't scored a touchdown in half your games this year.
You've lost 3 games, and in those 3 games, your defense is giving up less than 2 touchdowns per game.
Yep.
I don't got that energy right now, Bronx Boy. I don't got that in me. Did you already talk about maybe bringing up Hodgins? I think, Bill, you should ask that question with a hashtag Giants in there so we get it on the mailbag.
I like that.
So we can get it on the mailbag. Isaiah, would you be surprised if Daniel Jones wins against the Seahawks? I'd be fucking shocked. Sorry for the S word.
Sorry for the S word. Shocked?
Yep.
Okay.
Not sorry for the F word. B. Scott says, and those dumb and advanced analytics are because Malik is bailing him out. Yes. Mitch hates Roy. What up? Poke Moore says, time to say what they said on Hard Knocks. What is our identity without Daniel Jones? What's our identity with Daniel Jones? I'm scared of that identity. Mike G. Bronx Boy says, thank you, MHRC.
Oh, Bill.
I'll do it for you, Bronx Boy. Y'all are ridiculous. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Shout out to Mike G. Shout out to Bill. Mike G, does it pain me to see Joe Alt be a stud? No, it doesn't pain me. It pains me that pain isn't even the word. What I would say is it lets me know what I'm doing is right. It lets me know that I know what I'm talking about, Mike G. I told you guys 4 months before the draft that Joe Alt was going to be a stud. And he's a stud. He's a stud. He's a beast. A offensive tackle. Joe Alt from Notre Dame. He
He's
ain't
good.
missing.
Really? Surprise.
Surprise. He's good, right?
Yep.
So surprising. Joe Alt, Mike G, and Smitty, all Marsh's guys. That'd be an elite hangout.
That would be
Mike, Marsh, Smitty, Joe Alt. I bet we'd crush some beers. I bet we'd crush some beers.
crazy rotation.
Bill, what up, man? Bill.
Shout out to you. We'll answer this in the mailbag, my man.
I will answer this in the mailbag, Mr. Bill. And I will say I am jealous. Jeremy Shockey retweeted one of Mr. Bill Hartnett's tweets today.
What?
That's called FOMO, what I have, Bill. If you didn't know, one of my dogs growing up, his name was Shockey. We are a big Jeremy Shockey household at the greenhouse. We love Jeremy Shockey. That's awesome. That's awesome. That dude just played football different, man.
They don't make him like Jeremy Shockey.
No, I haven't seen. No one in the NFL has ever compared a college tight end prospect to Jeremy Shockey. Because it's not fair. It's not fair. Shockey, I love that. I miss him. I miss my dog Shockey. He was awesome. I want to get another dog. I've never had it. I was thinking actually for my 30th birthday, I'm going to buy myself a dog.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'm going to get a dog for my 30th birthday, which is in 2 weeks, which is crazy.
Oh, boy.
I'm old.
What up, Unk?
Oh, no.
What up, Unk?
I'm big bro, not Unk.
Big bro.
I can't be Unk.
Not yet. Unk's when you're 40.
Unk is 40.
Unk is 40.
Oh, my God. I name it Vinny. I was going to name it Devo for Dante DiVincenzo, but unfortunately he got traded.
That would have been a rough.
That would have been, well, what's crazy is, so we got the dog Shockey in October 2007. Giants win the Super Bowl in February 2008. They trade him. So we didn't even get a full year of Shockey being Shockey.
That's crazy.
Marty Party says, I met my wife with the Shockey jersey on. She seems super cool.
Yep.
She seems super cool.
She knew to lock you down.
Oh, man.
I too like Jeremy Shockey.
There's nobody that doesn't like Jeremy Shockey.
I too like Jeremy Shockey.
If you like to party, you like football, and you like dominating someone, you're going to love Jeremy Shockey.
Yep.
Jeremy Shockey, all-time football. All-time tight end. Come on.
There's nothing more American than Jeremy Shockey.
Yeah.
Literally nothing, dude.
Oh, my goodness.
Name the dog Leak? Ooh.
That would be tough.
I kind of like that.
Name the dog Lee.
I kind of like. Leak, get your ass over here.
Cutlets? That's
Cutlets?
ridiculous. Absolutely not. I like Leek.
I like Leak. I was thinking Brunson, but like that's kind of like.
Damn, that's a meat ride. Oh, that's crazy.
You're such a D rider. Shockey was Gronk before Gronk he was Kyler. I'm taking Leak for a Leak.
That's
I kind of like
tough.
Leak.
Tough.
I think Leak's the leader of the clubhouse.
I like that.
I should name it Brody. It's an all-around cool dog name. What's up, Brody? The dog's name is Sexy Dexy. He might pee on the floor, giving Leak a whole new meaning. Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a dog, man. I really want one. I grew up with dogs, and it gives you something to look forward to all the time, man. Sometimes you walk home from work, and it's like, what am I doing the rest of the day?
Yeah.
I need a dog.
Responsibility. Big responsibility, though.
Big responsibility, and
big
I'm 30. At 30, maybe I need some responsibilities. I have no responsibilities except New York Football Giants.
That's electric.
And Knicks content. I'm at the bar last week with Smitty on Friday. Cooked in the Knicks trade for Karl Anthony Towns. Had to come into work. It was not fun.
Nope.
Name it Seeps because it could probably produce better than Smitty.
Yo, what does that even mean? Broxville, you're just hating. That's a crazy D1 hater comment.
That's a Heisman level hater comment.
Like, that doesn't even, I don't even know why that would make sense. That's just hate. Kidding, sweetie.
This man dissed you and then called you sweetie.
Bro, it's like slapping me and then giving me a kiss on the cheek.
It's like congratulating someone for 112,000 views on a YouTube video and saying that it was too many external.
Oh.
If you know, you know.
I hate the external.
Oh, all right. Mailbag time. If you want to be featured on the mailbag, hashtag Giants. And if you want to guarantee. Oh, Lordy.
Fair enough.
I thought that said closet.
Uh-oh. I hope it didn't.
All right, let's do it. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by, as we're just going to be answering questions from subscribers about the latest Giants news and rumors leading up to the game this Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. Let's go. Mike G coming in with the first $10 super chat. Smitty, let's avoid the Neighbors ones if we could. Says, Marsh, what is up, my brother? Besides QB and corner, what position the Giants need to upgrade in free agency or the draft? You are a home run hitter. All the guy does is hit dingers. I will say this. Quarterback and corner are my top two, with quarterback being number one. In no other order, the Giants need to go out and add another offensive playmaker that is a difference maker. Whether that's a tight end, whether that's a running back, whether that's another wide receiver, adding another guy that can put fear into a defensive coordinator's heart needs to be added to this team. I also think you need to go out and add another defensive tackle to this team that could play alongside Dexter Lawrence. So I'm going offensive playmaker, defensive tackle, and right guard. You do not have a right guard for the future. Greg Van Roten is here. Greg Van Roten is very close to being over the hill. And I want a right guard that's a road grader, man. I want someone that just is going to get to that second level and create running lanes. We've got a lot of pass blocking offensive linemen. I want a downhill, punch in the mouth, road grading offensive lineman at that right guard spot. So offensive playmaker, right guard, defensive tackle, that's what I'm looking at, Mike G. You're a stud. Rob Jigga, what's up, man? It says Tankathon currently has the 10th overall, taking Quinn Ewers. Thoughts, good or bad? I'd love it. Quinn Ewers is someone that I'm a big fan of. Covered him in high school. Known him now for a long time. Watched a lot of his games. The thing that I love the most about Quinn Ewers is when the lights are the brightest, when he needs to play his best football, he does so. This is a guy that can touch every blade of grass. He's got an elite arm. I worry a little bit about the injuries. 3 straight years in a row, he's had some injuries pop up. But I like to judge quarterbacks in big games. I always go back to C.J. Stroud versus Georgia. I go back to Michael Penix versus Texas. I believe Penix is going to be a good QB. And big game Quinn. He did it versus Bama. Did it versus OU. Did it versus Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship. And he just beat Michigan this past year. Yeah, I would be very happy if Quinn Ewers was a New York Giant, Mr. Rob Jigga. JJ says, thoughts about keeping DJ, then sitting a rookie quarterback behind him for half a season or however long it takes. The reason I say no to that is because I do not want to pay Daniel Jones $41.6 million next year to be a bridge quarterback. You can find a bridge quarterback for far less than $41.6 million. You also need a change of identity. So what I would do is either sign a bridge quarterback if you're going to draft a guy, bring back Drew Lock, and cut Daniel Jones. If you cut him, you save $19.6 million. It's plenty enough money to go out and add somebody else and beef up this roster elsewhere. Neighbor Solo, what up, man? Do you think we could go after Ryan Tannehill? No. I think that ship has sailed at this point. You paid Drew Lock $5 million. If you move on from DJ this year, Drew Lock's going to get that shot. And then if Drew Lock struggles, it's going to be Mr. Tommy Cutlets. Bill, what's up, Bill? Shout out for the $2 super chat. The King, Bill Hartnett on the grill. That chicken is always looking good. Says, do we elevate Hodgins from the practice squad? Look, if Malik Nabers, and as we're filming this video on Thursday, we do not know the game day status yet for Malik Nabers. If Nabers can't play, Bill, you absolutely should elevate Isaiah Hodgins. Because if you don't elevate Hodgins, that means your receivers are going to be Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalen Hyatt, Darius Slayton, Amir Smith-Marset, and Bryce Ford-Wheaton. 5 guys. Yes. You go out and you elevate Isaiah Hodgins. Bill, you know ball. Great question. Great thought. Johnson, is that Daniel Jones hosting up the ACC title? Says, do you see a future with Hyatt in New York? I want to, and I don't love how we are 4 games into his second year in the National Football League for a guy that we all knew was going to be a developmental player. That's why he fell to the 3rd round. We're not developing him. He's played 50 snaps through 4 weeks. I blame Brian Dable for that, man. He needs to do a better job of finding the purpose for this season. I bleed blue. You bleed blue. We're not winning the bowl. So let's focus on how we can win the bowl in the future. And let's see if Jalen Hyatt's a part of that. Because you know who's not going to be a part of the next time the Giants win a Super Bowl? Darius Slayton. Because he would drop the game-winning pass. Who do you got? NYG, Seattle. Who's pulling out the dub in the great Northwest? We've seen it done before when no one gave the Giants a chance. Shout out to Colt McCoy. Hook 'em. NYG, SCA. Who you got? The Tank says, do the Giants trade Slayton to the Chiefs and make Hyatt wide receiver too? Yeah, I would. I would try to go get a 5th-round pick for Darius Slayton, and then I would give all of his snaps to Jalen Hyatt. You get a pick to go into the future, and you also get a guy that you spent 2 picks on to draft to potentially see if he could develop into anybody. There are a lot of people that have said the Giants trading Darius Slayton makes no sense. I think it makes no sense to keep Darius Slayton. He's going to be a free agent, still can't catch the football, and he's best friends with Daniel Jones, who's not going to be on this team next year. Darius Slayton, we'll see you. Naber Solos, back again. We are going to get destroyed by Metcalf, Lockett, and JSN. Could we move Simmons to CB? It'd be a horrible idea. I could be wrong, though, with getting Phillips and Adoree back. Still TBD at this moment, as again, we're filming this video on Thursday, if Andrew Phillips and or Adoree Jackson are going to play. Both were limited participants in practice on Thursday, the first time this week, meaning they are trending in the right direction. But look, it's going to be tough. The Seahawks have the number 1 passing offense in the National Football League. 3 really good receivers like you talked about. I don't want to see Isaiah Simmons guarding any of them. Christian, Sussy, what is the strongest part of this team? That's a tough question. I'd say the pass rush. You're top 5, I believe, in sacks this year. You're in theory, you're front 7. Lawrence, Thibodeau, Burns, McFadden, and Okereke. In theory, your front 7's good, and the defense has been solid this year. That's what I would say. Poke Moore, if we lose, what are the odds of benching Jones and starting Locke? Greater. Every loss the Giants stack, the odds of playing Drew Lock get better. I remember someone asked me in the offseason, at what point do you bench Daniel Jones for Drew Lock due to the injury guarantee? Like, Daniel Jones hasn't played bad enough this year to lose his job. But he hasn't played well enough to prove to me that he deserves his job for next year. And if he doesn't deserve his job for next year, you need to do the thing that prevents him from being on the team next year and earning $41.6 million, which is not letting him get injured and having that injury guarantee trigger. How many games under 500 is it going to take for the Giants to bench Daniel Jones? If you lose this week, you're 1-4. I think if you fall 4 games below 500, if you go 1-5 and you lose in week 6, you should come out with a new quarterback. Because 1-3 is a death sentence. 1-4, season's cooked. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue. My computer just shut off during that whole segment. Yeah, it was weird. I couldn't even see the chat. I don't know, Smitty. Like, what is the point of playing with Daniel Jones anymore? Like, are we seriously hoping that he's going to prove something over the next 3 games that makes him a franchise quarterback?
Mm-hmm. I mean, why? I don't know. I really don't. Why do you continue to play Daniel Jones?
If he tears his ACL, we are in trouble. If he has another neck injury, we are in trouble.
If you don't think Drew Lock can force feed Malik Nabers the football too, like Daniel Jones, I don't think Daniel Jones is as good a thrower of the football as Drew Lock.
I don't either. I think that Daniel Jones can work in the quick game a little bit better. The quick game isn't producing. Half our games this year, we haven't scored a touchdown.
You think you could work better in the quick game when Drew Lock ran the quick game for 93 yards against the Eagles to win it on Monday Night Football last year?
What I mean by quick game is passes under 5 yards. Like getting the ball out quick to receivers. Yeah, that's what I refer to it as a quick passing game, a.k.a. an extension of the running game.
Got it.
But yeah, no, you're right. We saw him in the 2-minute drill go 90 yards against the Philadelphia Eagles. Find Jackson Smith and Jigba. Big time throw. Right hash. Down the sideline. On the money. Touchdown. Winner. Monday Night Football. How many games has Daniel Jones won on Monday Night Football?
0.
Drew Lock. Greater than that.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I think DJ can work that quick passing game a little bit better. Nobody likes a duck dink and dunk the ball more than him. But, man, at some point, you got to push the ball down the field. You are limiting Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers is a great catch-and-run guy. But, Smitty, he was known at LSU for taking the top off the defense, and Jaden Daniels dropping, do.
Yep.
Like, you're boxing in a player that should be unboxable. Joe Flacco would love that. Joe Flacco is better than Daniel Jones right now. My dad told me like so many times, what did you want him to do at quarterback? Well, Sam Darnold's undefeated. Justin Fields is undefeated.
Yep.
How many other quarterbacks could the Giants have signed that are undefeated? You could have got Baker Mayfield 2 years ago. Like, the idea that there was no other moves they could make is wrong. And it's very dumb. It's very dumb. Brian Combs says, if DJ stinks in the first half, do they start locking the second?
Depends on how bad he's.
If it only takes a bad half, bench him now.
Yeah.
If you're a bad half of football away from benching Daniel Jones, just bench him now. Like, if you are 2 more bad quarters away, just do it now. We don't need 2 more bad quarters. That's just kind of my thoughts on that. I'll take Flacco easy, says King Lobo. Would you like Will Johnson, cornerback, as a first-round pick if we can't get a QB? Yeah. I mean, if you can't get a QB or you don't deem any of these QBs first-round talent, yeah, a corner would be awesome.
Will Johnson. How sick would a Will Johnson be, then trade back into the first round? But I don't know if Joe Shane can get sticky like that.
Trade Slayton for Russell Wilson or Bryce Young?
That's not how that. I mean, maybe Russell Wilson, but no, they would never do that.
Mrs. Cha says, hi, Marshall. Rick and I are heading to Atlantic City. Keep your eyes on him. Keep your eyes on him. He's going to be a menace in Atlantic City.
Put your makeup on, keep your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City.
Y'all have fun. Y'all have fun. That is awesome. Tell him to send me a picture. Tell him to send me a picture. I always do. You've got your hands full. That's for sure. You've got your hands full. Oh, my goodness. My man, Rob Simpy. What's going on, Mr. Rob Simpy? Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for always being here. And thank you for bleeding New York Giants now blue. Miss Cha says, great song. Run it back. You sounded pretty good.
Everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, keep your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City.
Grade the performance. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the performance.
Let's go. Great song. Elite song. Atlantic City, the band.
Some are saying he's the true songbird of our generation. A mixture of Fergie and Jesus. Rob Simpy says this should be $25. Marsh needs to cool down and have a beer. Sorry, Smitty. You need to keep working. Trace, can you bring me a warm Happy Dad and a shotgun tool so I can do a shotgun?
For the people.
For the people. Elite song, one of Bruce's best.
It's a great song.
Great song. M. Dot says, my ears are bleeding.
My bad.
Mitch Hates Rolly gave you an A. Rob
Appreciate
Simpy
that.
says B to a C+.
Thank you.
Better than Diddy,
Him.
he says. Fergalicious. We got a Bronx Boy gave it a Z. Miss Cha says we love it. A++. That's
Thank
all
you.
that matters.
That's
all that matters.
That's all the validation I need, Mrs.
We're
Mrs.
performing for
Mr.
an
Rick.
audience of one.
Yes.
An audience of one.
Well, 2. Both of them.
Yeah, 2. It's really Miss Cha, though.
Yeah.
Rob Jigga, it's not warm, it's room temp. It's just easier to chug. It's easier to chug. When it's too cold, it feels like I'm paused swallowing shards of glass. It is Friday for the boys at Chat Sports.
Ferda.
So I'm down to do a little shotgun.
Get the weekend started early.
Marty Party says Marsh cool, but Smith, I don't know. What's the beef with Smitty?
My bad. Am I having a bad day today? I can't win today.
To the real ones.
Here we go. Shout out to everybody in the building hanging out with us talking New York Giant football.
Woo! There we go. Ox says, I'm going to get a job at Chat Sports and say hello to Marsh and then quit. Wouldn't be the first time.
He didn't even say hello, though.
No, he just asked me if I saw something. Isaiah says 2-3 this week, Marsh. Sign me up. I want to win a football game so bad. Like, what do I got to do? How can I help the New York Giants win a football game? I will do whatever I have to do to help this team win a football game. Put on a helmet? You want me to wear a helmet during the stream on Sunday? Is that what we want? Be the lineman? Bro, I weigh 210 pounds. I'm not blocking anybody. I literally had to quit playing college football because I couldn't block anyone at tight end anymore. Every play, every time we started practice, Smitty, 2x4.
Yeah.
Off, you meet in the middle. First side that pushes to the other side wins. Didn't win all season. I didn't win one rep all season. I was a 200-pound tight end. I'm not blocking. I'm just here to run routes, baby.
Oh.
Greg says, thank God I'm a Penn State fan. We at least win games there. Just never the big one. Just never the big one. That was mean. I shouldn't have said that. But I totally mean it.
They don't win the big one.
They never win the big one. Franklin is a fraud.
Yep. James
Franklin's a fraud.
Yep. Franklin the fraud. I hate Penn State. Like, I actually don't really have a college football team. I'm a hater of a lot of teams, though.
I don't have a team either.
I hate all the big programs. Like, I hate Alabama. I hate Penn State. I hate Notre Dame. LSU was cool with Burrow, but I kind of like them.
Mr. Rick says if I could throw more than 20 yards, you're hired. I could do that. I legitimately think I could throw the ball just as far as Daniel Jones. If it's 60 yards, I can throw the ball 60 yards. Marsh, I'm 5'10", 225. What position could I be for the Giants? Running back. That's a running back build right there. That's 5'10", 2. Are you fast? What's that 40 time looking like?
That 40 time looking like?
Greg says, yeah, we don't get that big one. I admit it. Is this the year?
Drew Aller.
Is Drew Aller the guy, Greg? Are we believing in Drew Aller?
Is he the next Giants quarterback? The thing is, like, we're going to see whoever ends up being the top quarterback in this draft might be the quarterback that takes his team the furthest this college football season. Cam Ward, Milroe.
They're winning the ACC.
Yeah.
They're going to the playoff.
Well, I think that regardless of if they win the ACC or not, like say they run the table and then lose to Clemson in the ACC championship, then they would.
I don't give no piss about nothing but the Tide. Shout out to Pokemon.
Yeah, Miami's going to make the playoff no matter what, in my opinion. And Alabama's obviously going to make the playoff. Texas is going to make the playoff. Colorado has a path to the playoff, and I'm probably not going to make it. But those three guys, whoever wins the Natty, people are probably going to be talking about the most as the potential number one quarterback taken.
I agree. Mitch hates Rolly says he's 5'10", 225 with a 4.5 40.
Oh, yeah.
That's prime running back build.
Yep.
That's a prime running back build.
Love that.
I'm not trading for anybody, guys. The Giants are not winning the Super Bowl this year. Giants are not making the playoffs here. Let's not sacrifice future capital to win 5 games instead of 4. Keep your picks, evaluate who you got, and let's go win the draft. We have a big game in 2 weekends against USC. It's Miller time.
Miller time. Miller Mouse going to dot you up. Where is that game?
USC Penn State? Where is that, Greg?
It's kind of a aura game. Oh my God.
It's two nice programs.
That is two programs that just look good on a television.
Nicole O'Brien coming in with a $2 super chat. Shout out to Nicole. Always tuning in, always showing love, always being respectful. Miss O'Brien, I appreciate you for taking time out of your day to tune into us. Says, can 2 and 3 save our season? Smitty, if the Giants go 2 and 3, the season lives for another week.
Correct.
1 and 4 is a death sentence.
The season's not over.
It is 2 and 3. Your season is not over. But Giants don't have the easiest schedule remaining. Let's not call them. Let's just do this, okay? Bengals Giants week 6. Win a bowl, Giants will be dogs. Eagles Giants, win a bowl, Giants will be dogs. Giants Steelers, win a bowl, Giants will be big dogs. Commanders Giants, that should be a win. You can't lose 2 games to Washington. You'll be dogs. Giants Panthers, so God help me, if we don't beat the Panthers, I'm not going to be able to do this job.
It's going to be a close game, by the way.
It is.
100% going to be a close game.
Bucks Giants, winnable game, Giants will be dogs. Giants Cowboys, winnable game, you'll be dogs. Giants Saints, you'll be dogs. Giants Ravens, you'll be dogs. Giants Falcons, you'll be dogs. Giants Colts, you'll be dogs. And Giants Eagles, you'll be dogs.
Should be underdogs in every game remaining?
You'll be the underdogs in every game remaining except that Panthers game and maybe the Commanders because you play them at home.
What about the Colts? Where's that game?
MetLife.
Oh, that you could be your favorite there.
You think so?
1.5. 1. Yeah. I think the Giants are favored there, and everybody's wondering why, and the Giants win that game.
So favored versus the Colts, favored versus the Panthers, and maybe +1 versus Washington at home.
Yeah, I think it's
unless Washington just continues to stack W's. I just don't actually believe they're that good.
It's closer to being a pick'em versus Washington than it is versus the Colts. You're more going to be favored by more against the Colts, in my opinion.
I just don't believe in Washington. Giants almost beat them, and they kicked 7 field goals.
That was week 2 of Jay Daniels. Then he went on Monday Night Football and cooked Joe Burrow.
He just threw the ball deep.
Sick, though.
It was dope.
They had a lot of aura.
I got to see more from them.
Yeah.
I got to see more from them.
He looks like he's going to be a star, though.
He does. He does. Isaiah France says 9 and 8. You found 8 more wins? 8 more wins.
8 more wins. Yeah, means we were knocking off Baltimore or something.
So, yes, 2 and 3 can save the season, Nicole, but you're going to have to start winning a lot more games, too, against some teams you're not going to be supposed to beat. Brian Combs. What were you saying?
No, this is old.
Oh, it's old?
Yeah, they just did that thing. The season's over until it isn't. I don't know. You gotta win. You gotta win this week.
Win this week and then go beat the Bengals on Sunday Night Football, and we're 3 and 3, and then we're fucking back.
Go beat the who on Sunday Night Football?
Bengals. The 1 and 3 Bengals. That's a get-right game for them.
That's a real get-right game. That they can throw the ball. The Giants can't defend that.
Isaiah says you got to believe. They just got to play better, brother.
Jamar Chase might have the greatest game of his career against the New York Giants.
As I am going to be rooting my tail off, but they just got to play better. I just got to play better.
I love the G-men, but Jamar Chase is going to take the top ball.
Greg says Washington apparently only punts 1 time a game this season. They've been good. They've been good. I just got to see it a little longer. Chris or Chia Pet says only when we had Saquon doing half the work, DJ can't make over 14 points. The Giants offense averaged 15 points per game last year when Saquon Barkley played. How good's that Eagles offense looking this year? They're 2 and 2. They've got Saquon.
Yeah, they have issues. They have real issues.
Yeah, we don't miss Saquon at all. King and Lobo, Marsh, you think thank you for the love, my man. Marsh, you think Hyatt is not playing because Dable knows No, because Brian Dable's coaching for his job and he's trying to win games, Nabers isn't in concussion protocol. He hasn't healed yet. That's just what it is.
Do you think Dable's definitely coaching for his job?
Coaching for his job may have not been the right expression, but he's not comfortable enough in his job to bench a healthy Malik Nabers because Daniel Jones can't sling the ball.
What would the record have to be, and what else would have to happen behind the scenes for Dable to be fired?
If you go 1-16 this year, I think you got to ask the question to see the right coach.
If you go 1-16, you fire the coach. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not comfortable in his job enough to be able to bench the best player who is healthy on your team because Daniel Jones can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm misreading this.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Nabers. Martin Hyatt is not playing.
So he's basically asking if Brian Dable just thinks there's no use in playing Hyatt because Daniel Jones can't throw the ball downfield.
No. Because that's what Darius Slayton does.
Yeah.
I think he just views Jalen Hyatt as the fourth best wide receiver.
I agree.
And right now he is the fourth best wide receiver. But the Giants aren't trying to win a Super Bowl. Giants are trying to figure out their draft picks that they made are any good football players.
What I do think is the case is that Brian Dable doesn't run a lot of 4 wide receiver sets because he doesn't feel comfortable running those with Daniel Jones.
I would agree, and I would say that he is catering his offense more to Jones than Hyatt.
Yes.
So he would use Hyatt more. You're on the right path, and I do think there is some rightness in here.
Yeah.
But Brian Dable is calling a game that he thinks Daniel Jones can operate and execute the best. And you are right. It does not include Jalen Hyatt consistently winning deep and getting the ball on time and on target. Mm-hmm. So, yes, you are right there. Sorry for the misunderstanding. I thought you said Nabers. Yeah, no. I think it's a multitude of things. He knows he has to run a dink and dunk offense with Daniel Jones, and he thinks that Hyatt is the fourth best receiver.
The Entertainus is asking if Seep's been insufferable in the office with the Vikes getting off to a hot start. He's been pretty humble.
Yeah, he's been pretty humble. He thinks they're going to the Super Bowl. We made a bet that if they play the Bills, we bet $100 that if the Vikings and the Bills make the Super Bowl, I got the Bills, he's got the Vikes. That is free bread.
Oh, yeah, that is free bread. Josh Allen, in his one chance to win a Super Bowl, like the 1 year that Mahomes ain't
against Sam Darnold.
Against Sam Darnold. They're buddies, by the way. They went on Bob Does Sports together. They played golf with the Bob Does Sports
Really?
guys. Yeah, it's an electric video. They all got hammered. And that would be Josh Allen's. Like he would, but I don't know. Brian Flores does call
good
elite
coach
defense. Brian Flores.
I will say the Vikings have the best coaching staff in the NFL.
And you know what's crazy is like when he got whatever he thinks he got blacklisted from the NFL a couple years ago, he might have been right because this guy is going to be a head coach next year already. I think Brian Flores is going to be a head coach again in this league, just to how well he runs this defense for Minnesota. Somebody's going to want that on their team.
Whew. I agree. All righty. We're going to sign off on today's show. We've been live for an hour and a half. It's our Friday. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go have some fun. We're going to go delete some beers. Going to hang out, talk more New York Giants football. We'll have videos on the channel tomorrow. We'll have videos on the channel on Saturday. And then we're live on Sunday an hour before kickoff. So tune in and let's go, Giants.